Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy Live, and we got a great show lined up for you with Mr. Robert Smith and First Class BBQ, and our first time that we've ever had an international team on. We have an international team from Canada, Jarrod Taschuk, and he's from Alberta, Canada, and we're going to hear a little bit about the barbecue that they do in Canada and talk to him a little bit about his barbecue journey. It's pretty cool to have somebody this far from us, especially being down here in Louisiana, and a lot of our listeners are across the United States, but it is going to be pretty cool to have a team on from another country and hear how they do some of the things that they do. I'll ask them a little bit about flavor profiles and see how their flavor profiles may differ a little bit from what we cook down here in, Texas and Louisiana. I know what they like. So anyway, we got several folks that have already joined us. Mr. Gordon, I don't know how you always pull it off to be number one, but there's no way that I need to try to have some kind of door prize for the first one because you'd win it every week. So glad you're with us. Brody, man, I tell you what, Brody, you are absolutely crushing it, and you're just doing an unbelievable job. Very proud of what you're doing. You had another outstanding weekend this weekend, steadily getting some top 10 calls, and congratulations for another good weekend for you, man. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate the shout-outs you give us for Barbecue Champs. Emmeline, thank you for being here all the way from Marietta, Georgia. Michael Sanderson, thank you for being with us tonight, sir. We got Mr. John. He's from the frozen tundra of Wisconsin. Appreciate you being with us, John. We got somebody kind of close to your neck of the woods on tonight. Mr. Dan, appreciate you being here all the way down from Houston, Texas. Caitlin Crane, glad to have you here. Happy Tuesday to you too, sweetie. And glad you're with us tonight. Paul Knight, let's see where he's from. Smoke Happens from Texas. There you go. Let's see. Go Brisket Butts Barbecue Team. Yes, sir. That's the name of his team. So we are certainly glad to have him with us. Outlaw Barbecue Association. I don't know which one this is. It's probably Cody or one of the board members, but we're glad to have you here with us tonight. Darian, thank you for being with us. I'm doing well. I hope you had a good weekend as well, sir. Glad to have you with us tonight. Lance, good evening from Weatherford, Texas. That's a great little place over there in Texas. Glad to have you with us. Look at who we got. Captain Joe, Mr. Joey Smith here. With Texas Chrome. If you don't know anything about this man, it's Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. He's the founder of that. And Joey, man, we are really glad to have you with us tonight. Here's the other international team, Mr. Lucas Armstrong. Good morning, sir. If you're wondering why he's saying good morning, he is from the land down under. So it is really great to have you here, Lucas. I don't know, Lucas, if you work early in the morning like right now. I don't know what time it is in Australia. But at some point in time, man, we need to get you on here. I got a chance to meet him at the World Food Championship this past year, and a great guy. And hope to have you, see if we can get you on here one day as well, Lucas. Stephen, thank you for being with us. Juke, that's what we got. Hello, how are you doing? And glad to have you join us this afternoon. Sylvester's with us from Angelton, Texas. Glad to have you with us. Mr. Bobby Stewart, come on, brother. I hope you're doing well. I don't know if you got a chance to cook over in Canton this weekend, but I heard they had a nice little cook-off over there as well. Robert Irwin, thank you for being with us. Let's see. Not sure why I'm logged in as Outlaw, but it's Steve Crumby. Well, who knows why, but you're on. That's all that counts. Glad you're with us, Steve. Mr. Aaron Leslie. This is another guy that's been heating up the waves in Texas. He's been doing absolutely outstanding. And his competitions, Aaron, we're glad to have you with us tonight as well. Stephen, appreciate you being with us. Jake, thank you for being with us as well. Another good outing for that man. And John, we appreciate you. Jake, I can't remember, but I think you had some pretty big walks this weekend. And correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe you can post what you had. But I think I seen you had some pretty good walks this past weekend, Jake. Nick, thank you for being with Butterbeard in the house. There we go. Okay, he's got it switched over now. Now we know who he is. All right, who else we got? Mike, thank you for being with us. Big Family Barbecue. Hey, Mike, checking in from communist-occupied Austin, Texas. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad down in Austin from what I keep hearing on the radio and reading about it. It's a shame that that's happening in Texas. Mark, we appreciate you being with us. Let's see. Alberto, got my first chicken walk thanks to the class. Man, that is absolutely awesome. We appreciate that. And thanks for letting us know, and thanks for the shout outs as well, Alberto. We really do appreciate it. Lucas, okay, it's 10 a.m. Wednesday morning. All right, Lucas, I don't know if you work at 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning. If you do, if you're working, you probably can't do a podcast. But if you're not working, we might need to talk to you about seeing if we can get you on here. So let me know in the chat. Carissa, I know that girl. She's just in the other room. So glad to have you there with us, and glad you got Robert all hooked up. Louis, thank you for being here from San Antonio. Bo Daniels, Bo, appreciate you being with us. I was just bragging on your son, Brody, just a minute ago. He has been killing it. Yes, sir. Yep, I thought you had a pretty good weekend. Congratulations, Jake. Murr, appreciate you being with us. Let's see. Watch out for this guy, Mike. Yeah, that's for sure. He's tough. Kevin, what's up, guys? Glad to have you here. Let's see. This is me. This is me working. This is a good job to have when you can get on a podcast. That's the way to do it. I don't think Lucas works at all when it works. Wow, Lucas, you've got some great friends there, buddy. Looks like I can get you on the show anytime. So I may have to be reaching out to you and see if we can stretch further across the pond. We got one just up north. We got Jarrod up from Canada, but now we're going to reach across the ocean a little bit. So apparently everybody knows that you don't work, so you're getting a couple comments about that. Big Rome's Barbecue Empower LLC, how you doing tonight, sir? Glad to have you with us. So, yeah, we got already 50 people on here. Man, we got a great show lined up. We'll give everybody just a couple more minutes, and 51, it's still climbing. If you come in, give us a shout out, let us know. We always like to give props to where everybody is. Real quick shout out to all of our partners that make this happen. Prairie Fresh, couldn't do what we do without those guys. Great pork products. Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Mr. Brian Crawford's got some awesome stuff. Texas Select Seasoning, Mr. Wild Bill, love his products. Gunnar Wilhelm Knives, some of the best knives out there. Dustin Stanley at the barbecue store, always quick shipping, and we'll take care of your needs. All queued up, Mr. John Lindsay, and last but not least, Miss Gail at Daigle's Barbecue, sauces, glazes. She's got some great rubs as well. So we do appreciate all of these guys and their help that they give us here at Barbecue Champs Academy. I think we've got another, let's see, Lucas. Let's see what Lucas said here. Nick is good eggs. He's one of my favorite. He's one of the good eggs. Is that what it said? He's one of the good eggs. Anyway, Stephen, evening, Mike. Here's another great guy, Mr. Steve Dotson. He had a chance to go cook the Jack last year as well. Let's see who else we got. Just put it in the box. That's all you got to do. Yep, that's exactly it. You can't win if it don't hit the box. That's for sure. We had a little chance to get down toward Robert's neck of the woods, about 40 miles from his backyard. This is my first time to get to travel that far south. I think the only time that I have traveled that far south was a cook-off that was put on by Robert. And I'm going to go ahead and bring him in real quick, and we'll talk real quick about that and about what he's done. But I got a chance to go down to Hempstead. It was probably, the banner sitting over there. I guess it was in 2019 or 2020. It must have been 2019. And COVID, yeah, it was right before the COVID stuff had hit. And I had never got that far south to cook, and I had a great weekend. I overalled it for the 2-day event and had first place brisket and first chicken, first rib, or first something day one. Had 2 first place. That's what it was. Had a first rib, first brisket. I think I had a 5th chicken, grand champion at day 2. Started off at first place chicken and just kept right on rolling. And I hadn't been down there since then, Robert. I just don't get that many competitions that far south. And I had seen this one on the schedule. I wanted to go down there and cook a CBA. I had cooked one earlier in Paris, Texas. And I knew it was going to be tough. I didn't realize how stacked the field was going to be until I got down there. And I was like, holy crap, I'm out of my league down here. But I've been cooking good. I was hoping to hold up with these guys, and I was pretty happy. I had a 6th place chicken. My chicken finally has got off the 10th place spot. I had a 6th place brisket, and I had a 10th place pork, a 12th place rib. Finished 5th overall out of 48 teams. It was my fault on the ribs. I got them way too hot and way too spicy, and I thought that was the one thing that hurt me. I just got a little carried away at the end. And I took a bite, and I was like, man, I have screwed up royally. But I was happy with my chicken. I was happy with my brisket. I'd had 3 or 4 competitions in, or I see 3 competitions out of the last 4. I had a second brisket rib. I was sure hoping to pull that off again, but in that stack field, I was like, man, at this point, I'll hope I get a call. So Robert had a great day, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. We got another lady, Miss Rita is with us. Howdy. It was great having y'all cook this weekend. She was the promoter of this cook-off. It was the True Blue Foundation. Great organization that they're raising money for down there, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm wanting a Jambo cooker so bad I'm thinking about hocking the dog and girlfriend. Now you get rid of the girlfriend, you could probably afford one. Jarrod, love me some Robert. So anyway, well, let's get our next guest in, and we're fixing to kick this thing off. Our next guest is Mr. Jarrod. Thank you, Jarrod, for being with us tonight. Brisket and Butts Barbecue team out of Alberta, Canada. And thank you for being here tonight, Jarrod.
Oh, not a problem. My team is Brisket Butts, not and but
Brisket Butts. Okay, that's my fault. So I probably put it on the. I probably had it on there on the poster that went out for this morning as well. So anyway, well, I can. The cool thing about that, I can make that correction like that. So anyway, but man, we appreciate you taking a little time out of your schedule and coming on, and we'll hear a little bit about you and what you do and stuff like that. So a lot of folks know Robert, and we had a good time cooking this weekend. But let's kind of dive in real quick to a little bit about you, and we'll let you kind of take a little bit of the spotlight. We'll give some spotlight to Robert, and if anybody's got questions, obviously I always like to open these things up and kind of roll from there. So tell us about Jarrod. I mean, how did you get into barbecue? Is this something you've done all your life, and when did you finally make the transition into competition barbecue? How long have you been cooking comp?
So 20 years ago, I graduated from college and I took a job in Texas on the Gulf Coast. So I worked down there for 2 years. I had went to the Brazoria County Fair, and that's what got me into the barbecues, like the barbecue competitions, and just floored on how many teams are there and the party atmosphere. And I ended up moving back to Canada, and here we have no hardwood. We have birch trees. We have no oak, like nothing with barbecue on. So I ended up buying a Traeger, having it shipped on a pallet up to Canada. And I've been using that for the last 20 years. It's been sitting outside my back door. We ended up buying an offset barbecue that I custom made about 3 years ago, and because I wanted to start competing. We have local competitions up here. I think we only have about 12 total in Canada a year. Right. And there's one in Edmonton where I'm from.
What is the organization that you cook?
Yeah, most of the competitions are all KCBS up in Canada.
Okay, so it's KCBS comps. Okay.
Yeah, so we got the 4 meets, and I walked around a competition here. I went to visited a few times, and I'm like, I've always wanted to compete, so I ended up buying a custom-made offset smoker. And importing my wood from down east in Canada, and that's what sort of got me going in barbecue. So I just started. I'm only 10 competitions in, so I'm brand new. I'm still learning every day. I'm trying to get better.
Right.
And so we end up winning our first GC last year, and so that competition we got a 180 in chicken. We're the first team in Canada to get a 180 in chicken.
That's awesome.
And we got a 700, and we were, I think, the second team in Canada to get the second or a 700.
Wow.
And so we're just, even back then, this was over a year ago. Honestly, I didn't know what Jack was. Like, I'm so new into this, and then I found out we got a invite to the Royal, but we couldn't make it there, and then we got our bung pulled for the Jack.
Wow.
And so we bit the bullet. I hauled all my equipment down. It was 500 miles. Yeah, with 2,500 miles each way to drive.
Yeah. Did you say 2,500 miles?
Yeah, it was around there. It's just over 3,500 kilometers.
Oh, good Lord. Robert, that sounds like something that may even be a little much for Robert. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right. So you drove 2,500 miles to go to the Jack. Now, let me tell you right now, if I got my bung drawn and I would got a chance to go to the Jack, my butt would have drove 2,500 miles. Suzette would have griped and complained and moaned. I would have gave her enough Benadryl to knock her out in the seat, but we would have got there some way, somehow. So,
Wow.
so you get to the Jack and tell us what your experience was like at the Jack.
So, yeah, we're in the international team area. I think there was 23 international teams.
Okay.
There's 2 teams from Canada brought our own equipment. I think all 3 did, but the rest of the teams had to borrow equipment, and so that's when it's worth the drive. I'll bring my own equipment and cook on it.
Right.
Boring equipment, and I wish I could do it again. It's just the first time's overwhelming.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But we end up getting a 4th place in ribs, which
wow.
I wanted to win brisket, but we took 4th place in ribs, and I was sort of shocked by that. Never thought in a million years that we'd do that good at a competition like that.
Wow. So how did you do on the other meats? Just out of curiosity, you remember all of them?
We got 28th in chicken.
Still good.
38th brisket. 55th in pork.
Wow, that's still great.
Yeah, so we got 18th overall.
18th overall. Wow, that's pretty good. It's only like your 12th or 13th competition to do. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was our 8th or 9th competition ever.
Yeah, golly.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to be pretty happy with that. So, oh goodness gracious. So you did take one of our classes. You've made no bones about that, and you took
Corey's
class. That's right. You took Corey's class. Did you pick up a few pointers from that? Is that what you used to kind of help get your techniques and stuff down and recipes?
Yeah, 100%. So I got his class, and it got me going in the right direction. Like, we don't have all the spices that you have in the States, and so I just use my own spices, my own local barbecue sauces. Like, this is one of the ones that I use, and
right,
far north, but just his cooking techniques and everything. I've even changed a lot of the techniques, but it got us in the right direction and got it going in the right spot. So no, I can't 100% that we got this good.
Yeah. So Jarrod, like here in Texas, we compete against, I think there's, probably 25 or 30 guys, that kind of run around, all over Texas, and we compete against each other, all the time. Do y'all have that same kind of, that same little circle that all you guys run, or is it pretty much, everybody stays to their, I don't know how big it is. Just Canada's got to be pretty damn big. So, I mean, are y'all spread out, or is there like 50 teams at every competition?
So, yeah, our competitions aren't that big. So we have 30 to 40 teams.
Still pretty good.
That's still big.
Yeah.
There's 10 to 15 of us that travel around.
Okay.
And go to most of them. Yeah, there's some teams that do them all. I try to make as most as I can, and there's a good 15 teams that are at all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, we only have a dozen.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So, what's the flavor profile like? In Texas, and I cook most of my barbecue that I cook. Either I'm in Northwest Louisiana, I cook more traditional Texas style barbecue. So it's usually savory, a little sweet. Maybe a little. Right now, it doesn't seem like they want much heat at all. So, what's the flavor profile up there?
So I think we're really similar to that. Like when I went to the Jack, I did make my stuff sweeter.
Okay.
It was a lot more sweeter than I'd like, and but I think we're really similar to Texas. But I'm still young. I don't know a lot about the different profiles around the States.
Right.
And right now, I'm trying to do my best learning, but our barbecue community is so small. Like with 12 competitions, it's such a range of area that our competitions are at. There's not a lot of I wouldn't call it a Canadian barbecue.
Right.
That's
right.
Yeah.
I bet you guys have a whole lot of judges too, huh?
They're still looking for judges all the time. Right? It's not like
really.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think maybe in Canada we might have 100-ish or so teams that compete. Those probably equal to one big county in Texas for all the teams.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We had 40. What was it? 48 this weekend, Robert. So
Yeah.
it was the who's who list of barbecue. So it was a crazy stacked field, and it was a lot of fun. It's like Robert said. There's like the CBA. And who was it, Steven? The CBA will travel. He's already pitching to get CBA up in Canada. Oh, goodness gracious. But, it's just kind of like a little group of guys that, that are really competing and going after points and the championships and stuff like that. They're pretty much well going all cooked together. And when you got that many great cooks, it does make it pretty hard. So, all right, Steve, James Dawson, does Jarrod know the guys from Devil
Made Me
Cue It?
I don't know if I've met them personally. I've heard about them, but I don't think we've competed together yet.
Okay. There you go. Well, that's interesting. So you've cooked in Canada. If you went to the Jack, you cooked at the Jack. You did pretty well down there, and then you also made a little trip down to Texas. And explain to me here's a Canada guy going down to Texas to go cook. So tell me a little bit about what you did going down to Texas, and then I can't wait to show what they gave you to cook on.
Yeah. So because I lived down there like 20 years ago, I met some friends, and the friend that let me the barbecue, I think he's joined in today, so he's watching. So anyway, so I talked to a good friend of mine. He's Sylvester Garcia, and so he competes. He does 3 or 4 competitions a year, and so I started talking to him right before I started competing. I had questions about competing, and he was the only guy I knew that competed. So he helped me get started, and we always talked about I'd love to come and cook in Texas. So he's like, "Well, I have an extra barbecue I got for free from my neighbor. If you want to come down, you can use it." So I'm like, "Is it big enough for a competition?" He's like, "Oh yeah." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm coming down next competition." So we came down this year in March for the Circle the Wagons barbecue competition, and it's a fundraiser for the local families with kids with cancer, and all the money goes to these 3 families. So there was no payouts at the competition, but I'm like, well, it's my first Texas competition. I just want to have some fun and learn.
How many teams was there?
There's 85 teams registered.
Wow.
So it was
the
biggest competition I've ever been in.
Right.
Yeah, so we flew down on a Thursday. We did all our shopping Thursday. Then I went to Sylvester's place, loaded up the barbecues, took them to the fairgrounds. The next day was day 1 of the competition. And so it was, so I cooked on that small offset. And
There's the grill he cooked on. That was his grill that he cooked Did you cook all the meats on this now?
no, I had an old smoky I cooked my chicken on.
Okay, and you cooked the brisket on this. So, yeah. I tell you what, and how did you do out of 85 teams? How did you do in brisket?
Yeah, I shocked 84 teams and got first place in brisket with that.
First place in brisket. That is absolutely awesome. Oh, that's a great story right there. So you come down from Canada, never cooked in Texas before, get a borrowed pit that looks like they drug it out of the backyard and ain't been cooked on in God knows how long. And, you roll out there and, just goes to show it ain't always the cooker, is it right? It ain't always the cooker, is the cook. It's right. That's it. So, oh man, I absolutely love that story. And Sylvester is here, and he said, "I'm here," and here's what he said: "I got it for free," and he killed it. Yeah, you did. Hey, it don't matter. You said I'll get you a pit. You didn't tell him you'd get him a jumbo pit. So that is absolutely awesome. So
I did start on small Oklahoma Joe's here, so I know how to run those smaller offsets, and it's a lot tougher than the big one. But I give him.
Wow. Let's see what Joey put here. Hey, don't laugh at that old girl, Mike. Pitt can cook. That's right. Mm-hmm. You ain't kidding. Well, man, that is a really, really, really cool story right there. So
I've got. Can I ask? I want to ask you a couple more questions.
Yeah.
So like all of your wood, all of your seasonings, and everything like that there's no barbecue stores or anything for you guys to shop at or anything.
See, there's barbecue stores, but we have no oak or hickory or mesquite in the Western Canada. So it all comes down from Eastern Canada. I think we do get some imported from the States, and we don't get a lot of your spices.
Okay.
Too. Like we have a few of the big brands up here, but not a lot that you have down there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you guys running Blues Hog sauces and kind of similar to us?
Yes. Yeah, we do have Blues Hog.
Good,
Okay.
good. Okay, so so you're not too far. I mean, you're just up there, but you're still running some of the good stuff.
Oh yeah, like we have the good stuff, but not all of it.
Not all of it.
Not all. So do you have like? Let's just throw some of the big names. You got Blues Hog. What about Cosmo or Butcher? Y'all, I mean, do y'all have a little bit of that stuff?
Yeah, we have,
you got
like,
that.
brands, yeah.
Okay, and then there's this guy named Robert Smith. He's got this line of rub called First Class BBQ rubs. I don't know. You might want to check that stuff out too.
I'm not sure we've gone international yet.
Well, it's time to get you international, Robert. I'm working on it. I got some somewhere around here, so
it just wins. It's
it
pretty
just
good
wins.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't care which one you get. The chicken on a chain is pretty good from what I've heard, and he's got this one called Troubadour. And I was like, Robert, this sounds like something about some kind of bull. And he's like, I used to wrestle bulls. What did you do? You was the clown for the bulls, or
I was a bullfighter.
Bullfighter, that was it. So, and that's where that one came from. I think if I recall, there was a bull named Troubadour, wasn't it? And he was a mean, bad son of a gun. Yep.
Yeah.
So they were all named after that. So some great rubs. I mean, this guy.
Mike or Robert.
Sir?
I'll send you my address.
There you go.
Send it to me. I'll get you hooked up.
So anyway, Robert, I mean, you'd be international, man. I mean, next thing you
There
know,
you
it'll be
go.
all over Canada. So
Yeah, you got to watch Lucas too. Lucas is pretty bad. He's got an arsenal of it as well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he comes off very like, oh yeah, mate. Next thing you know, he's ready to spank your butt. So,
Yep.
Oh goodness. Any other questions you got for him, Robert? And if anybody's got any questions for Jarrod, you put them in the chat. What other questions you have for him?
Yeah, so like, do y'all? All right, so we here, we have, Memphis May and a couple of those, like HLSR and everything like that. What is kind of like y'all's? Do y'all have like one or two of like prestige cooks that y'all feel like that if you win that one that you're the best guy in Canada?
There's two big, like most of our competitions are in Alberta. And we have Edmonton and Calgary, the two big cities, and those are two bigger events. We'll get around 40 teams, and then the rest of the competitions are a little smaller. So we have no big, like our goal is to get to the Jack, get to Memphis, and get to the big one.
Okay, gotcha. Do you guys? I mean, like I know when we go to the Royal and everything like that, we have some international teams come in and stuff like that. Are you looking at coming to the Royal anytime?
Yeah, once I win my first competition this year, I'll do my best to get down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So so that would be right. Any KCBS that you win is an automatic draw to the Jack. Okay. I mean to the American Rule Invitational. So
Yep.
Oh, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Are you gonna make that? You're not making it this year. Suzette, tell me you got a wedding. Is that true, Robert?
Yes.
God dog it.
No, I dog nothing. You better talk to Randy. So y'all know Randy, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. His daughter decided to get married on the day.
There's 52 weekends. Pick another one.
Yeah, and the things that's I love that baby girl to death. So
I'll be glad. I'm glad to. Oh my God! And that happened to you year before last too, didn't it?
Yep,
oh my gosh!
Yep.
What's wrong with these deadgum people?
I'm gonna send out some little notes. Not this day.
Yeah, no more. I'm booked.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a question. Who do you root for in hockey?
It's Edmonton Oilers for sure. There's
okay.
There's a
he's showing his shirt.
Yeah, this team makes me drink.
Looks like the Oilers.
That's it. That's hilarious. Okay, what else we got here? Does Jarrod know Janice Smalley's Q?
Smell Q.
Smell Q? Smelly.
Oh, Janice Smellicue. Okay.
Yep. She's another team.
Okay, good. Let's see what Rita's got us. Who is the standing top barbecue cook in Canada? So, like, there's 3 or 4 guys here in stinking the United States that are just Billy Bad Boys, right? So is there any, like, Billy Bad Boys up there that just, like, man, when they show up, you better bring your A game?
Yeah, there's a few teams. There's Smellicue. There's Arrowhead North. Prairie Smoke, and there's a few big teams that have been cooking a lot of years, and they win a lot of competitions, and it's
gotcha.
My goal to join them.
There you go.
There you go.
You've gotten off to a pretty good start. That's for sure. Wow. Oh, here we go, Joey. Robert, looks like Carissa's going to go to the. That is hilarious.
Hey, Daddy ain't going, Mama ain't going.
Yeah, you ain't no way. Oh, good gosh almighty. Could you imagine she got over there and kicked butt and you wasn't there? Oh, let's see. You go, Jarrod. Okay. Well, man, that sounds like some pretty cool stuff y'all got going on up there. It'd be really cool, Robert. We just need to load up the wagon, man, and take off and go to Canada to go cook one of these things.
Just go and check it out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But guys can find a little barbecue for me to cook on. I'll come and join you too.
There you go.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, let me tell you right, Robert. Let me tell you right now, Robert has no shortages of drums, pellet cookers, and anything else you could possibly need in his trailers. So, and I promise
and extra trailers.
And extra trailers, yeah. Just, he's got them parked all over the United States. So, oh, goodness gracious. And I promise you, they will look really, really nice compared to the one that Sylvester got you. Let's see, Jen, are you the first Canadian to win first place brisket in Texas? You have bragging rights. Yeah, you probably are. I didn't even think about that, James.
So the only one that might have is maybe BBQ, but I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I don't think Danielle hasn't won anything in Texas.
I don't think she's ever had a first place brisket. Okay. I don't know if she's won any big ones down here. So, wow, that's crazy.
Maybe it's time for me to retire now.
Yeah, that's it. No, I'm on top. Let's see.
Just stay out of Texas.
Do any of y'all do classes? Robert does. What kind of classes are you talking about? James. Is that James? Okay.
Yeah, it's James.
Yeah, Robert's got 1 or 2 that he does. Just go to bbqchamps.com and find and just start clicking on any of them. So, let's see. Come to the Tomball double. Oh, that would be a good one. If he were to come down to Tomball, man, he would love that.
I'm gonna miss that one this year.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the first time I will. Yep, that's when we start. I've got to start loading and everything's fixing to start heading up north.
Okay. Just got to borrow a barbecue from Jarrod and come up to Alberta for a comp. There we go. Oh, Diva Q never hit first place brisket. There you go. Looks like you're the only one, brother. That's pretty cool. It was great when they were announced as the brisket winner. Yep, that's pretty cool. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, Robert, let's talk real quick a little bit about you. In the meantime, if y'all have got questions for Jarrod, we'll pass this back and forth, but I got to talk about this big man's first place or big grand champion that he had this weekend. We rolled down to Trinity, Texas, and as we were talking earlier at the beginning of in Anderson, Texas. I don't know where Trinity came from. Went down to Anderson, Texas for the True Blue. I guess I was thinking of the second annual True Blue barbecue cook-off. It's to raise money for law enforcement and stuff, and it's just, man, they rolled out the red carpet. Rita did an outstanding job promoting it. Laura, it's the second time I've got a chance to cook a CBA. She does an amazing job running the judging area. I really do like CBA, and it just seems like the scoring is really consistent. Considering that there was 5 tables that they were running, the scores obviously were pretty even. I haven't got a chance to see my scores yet because I haven't taken the time to pull them up. But other than that, it was a fun competition. It was an incredibly stacked field. I mean, it was Love Barbecue, Randall Kendricks,
Ann and Scotty, Josh
Hale.
Yep,
Yeah,
Stacy.
I
I
mean,
mean, it was loaded.
it was loaded. Oh God, Robert Rocha, Bullhorn was there.
Yep.
I mean, it was like one. I was like, good lordy. I was like, man, if
Yeah.
I just get one walk, I'll be happy. So
Yeah.
um,
Alan Freeman was
Alan,
there. Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, it was if you got a top 10 call, then it was obviously you kind of weeded through everything because
yeah,
I mean there was 20. I think there was 40 something teams there, and I believe
46 or
it was a
47.
yeah, I think it was a half and half field is what I called it. Half professional and half. I hate to call anybody backyard cooks,
Right.
but there was half of them that don't compete every single weekend that were there to basically help out.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was 45 teams, but I mean that's what makes it good. I mean, I think good competition like that, I mean, is even though it's a stacked field, just like they always say, cook your best and put it in the box, and that's all you can do. And
That's it.
that's what I did. I was like, I mean, I've been cooking good barbecue. Everybody there's been cooking good barbecue. Just put it in front of them because on any given day, it's up to the judges. And if you guess
Yep.
right and you did the flavor profiles, what they're looking for, you can do good. I mean, you crushed it. I don't know what all your walks were. I know you had a second place brisket. I know you had some top fives in the other two. So, what was your overall finishes in each one? Do you remember? I know it was a
So I know I had
second.
a second brisket. I had a third rib, a sixth pork, and like a fifth. I think it was like an eighth in chicken.
Eighth or chicken, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
but
solid.
it was they were we always whenever we're competing in CBA and everything like that, we always strive to have a 190 or above. 190, if you can do a 190 or above in every category that you're going to be walking in, yeah, it's pretty. You're probably going to be doing pretty good that day. I
Right.
think my lowest was like a 189 in chicken.
Okay.
But it still it held up there pretty good. I was happy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it did. Yeah, I mean that was awesome. I don't know if there was any other team that got four walks. I think there was one or two other team that had four, or was only
no,
just one.
just
You was
me.
the
Yeah, I was on
just
the
you.
four walks. Yeah.
Yeah, and that right there was pretty stout. Once you got that brisket walk, we automatically was like Robert won this. So, there's sometimes we just don't know, but that one and that call, I was like Robert won it. So, four walks and a second place brisket to finish it off, and it was just man, congratulations. That was a great field, and you just cooked
you
lights
know,
out. You've been on fire here lately.
yeah, we've been doing stuff with barbecue champs for a long time, and doing the classes and everything. There's a lot of people that are taking the classes, and I always feel like I'm a pretty good, a strong cook, but my cook fell off after, of course, we filmed the barbecue champs. Everybody had the playbook.
Yeah,
So when everybody had the playbook, I was getting my tail kicked, and I had to actually go back to the drawing board and start working on some new recipes and everything like that to kind of elevate it back up to get where I needed to be because basically I just wasn't performing to where I felt I needed to be.
right,
And
right.
I took a couple of months off, and then came back, and I went to San Antonio. I think it was San Antonio. I went to San Antonio and running that new recipe on our brisket, and we got a fourth place brisket there. Went to Rodeo Houston, got a first place brisket there. Left there, went to Austin, had a first place brisket there. And we went on down to then we started hitting some of the other comps, and I had a grand down in San Antonio. I had a reserve. Oh, somebody's coming in. Is that
Yeah.
a wolf? What in the
That'll-
shit is that? Holy crap!
That's a husky right there now. Holy cow.
God Almighty!
I saw that paw coming in. I was like, yeah, they got big dogs up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little dog won't make it up there, Robert.
not at all.
Oh,
So
goodness.
yeah, so we went down to San Antonio and granded down there. Came up here to Hempstead, and I think we was reserve or there she is. There's Brenda.
Yeah.
We did pretty good. I think we were like a fifth or sixth overall up here, and then went on over there to Rita's and GC that one.
Yeah.
That contest was kind of Rita's was kind of special to me. I wasn't gonna get like this, but I was at her competition whenever my uncle passed away, and I had to leave the competition, so I wasn't able to finish it or anything like that. So this year, going back to her competition, I had kind of a little chip on my shoulder because I wanted to just dominate. I wanted to, you kind of get those one little deals, and I felt like he had a little something in there for us.
That's right.
So
that's right.
It was really special for me to go and do really good at that competition because, like I said, it was very special to me to actually be there to compete and and kind of have my uncle with me for the whole time. So it was something else.
I saw you every time you get a call, you'd look up. Every time you get a call, I saw you kept doing. I was like, I've never seen Robert do that. So now I know why, man. That.
Yeah, it was it was gonna be tough for anybody to beat me this weekend.
It was a good deal. I mean, that means a lot to go in there and to go win that deal like that. That's pretty awesome. So
it was fun, and like I said, I enjoyed having everybody come down and cook again. We've all been spread out for so many years. Anna and Scotty and Randy and everybody was chasing the jack last year, and
right.
and believe it or not, I'm sure up in Canada, you guys probably will be the same way. If we see somebody that's chasing the jack, or if they're holding 6, or if they're holding 5. If you have any kind of heart or anything, or if they're your brothers or anything like that, you pretty much, abandon ship. You don't go with them. You don't follow them. You pretty much avoid them, the whole year. Just letting them, because you don't want to be that guy that says, oh yeah, I've just beat you. Well, guess what, man? You didn't, you just screwed him. So it's, like I said, it's, this year, there's, of course, Purvis already got his 7.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, probably, one of the fastest ones I've ever saw.
Yeah. That's what I was telling. 9 months, 7 of them, man, that's pretty strong.
Yeah. So, he knocked his out, and I think maybe Phil might jump on and start chasing them. I think he's got 4. Randy still has 4. I'm not sure that he's going to be chasing them this year. I'm definitely not. I just, that's just not what I'm looking for this year,
Right.
And, I'm going back to what I told everybody. I'm going back to cooking because I like to cooking. I like to cook, and I like being around everybody.
Right.
And for me, it was turning into more of a job than what it had to. And I was going and competing. I wasn't going to cook, if that makes any sense. I wanted to get back to what barbecue is and making it fun again, going and, if whenever I first started cooking barbecue, if I got a call, it was beans, whatever the hell it was,
Right. Yeah.
I was pretty damn happy.
Yeah.
I was happy I got a call,
right.
And these past couple of years, 4 or 5 years, man, if I didn't win grand or something, man, I had a sore ass a little bit.
Right.
It was so for me, it was kind of turning into one of those little deals where, man, it's not fun anymore. I was turning it into a job instead of something that we enjoy doing every weekend and going out and being with friends that we don't get to see during the week and we don't get to hang out with.
Right.
And, I feel like, changing some of my recipes, I got to walk again and everything like that, kind of got everything lined out. And, man, it's still barbecue, but, I'm not doing it every weekend. I think we did 140. I think I did 140 competitions, and the only weekend I took off was Christmas.
You did 140 competitions, and how many years was that?
And it was 2 years, and I did
2
it.
years. Holy cow!
And I took off for Christmas.
Wow.
And Phil, I think Phil's got me beat. I think he did like 150. And so I think it was about 3 years. Yeah, I think it was about 3 years. I
3
started,
years.
and we never stopped. We were home for Christmas, and that was it.
Right.
And and me and Phil did that for the past. I know it was at least the past 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we spoke about it, and we were turning it turned into a job. Exactly. We have products to sell and everything like that, but man, we had to get back to the basics. And man, when we got back to the basics and just having fun, I mean, you can't beat Phil unless you got a baseball bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
been on a roll.
He's just a great cook. And it's good hanging out with everybody again, seeing Anna and Scotty and it's just, and having Stacy come back and cook with me, man, it's just a blast. And, and this weekend, Pepper started cooking with me about 2 weeks ago. Cause my guys, Guido's always been my guy, and he'll always be my guy. And Pepper was looking for a spot to cook. So Guido was like, well, I'll teach you. So, so they did their first competition together was the one in Hempstead, Taffer. And of course, Pepper didn't wake up. He got up at like 8 o'clock and, took a butt chewing from Guido, because we light fires at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And so he took a butt chewing, and hey, they won. They still won reserve. They won reserve.
Right.
And this weekend at True Blue, Pepper decided he was going to come. So I said, well, all right. I said, I'm only taking one trailer, so you're going to have to stay with me. So he stayed with me. So when the lights went on at 5, he had no choice but to get up.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
It's so he got to take his, his second, I call him his second shadow class of, kind of learning in the trailer of what we do and how we do it. And,
right.
Pepper hasn't cooked with us in probably 10 or 15 years. We were still sticking our finger in briskets to see if they were done yet.
Right. Right.
So he did his second class with us, and he walked away with another reserve. So I was really happy with him. So that was
good. Absolutely. Wow. Any new rubs coming out? Oh, yes. Is there any new rubs coming out, Robert? I got a chance to sample one of them this weekend. I thought it was mine. I was ready to go with it. Tell us what you got coming.
So we got together. I've been looking at a new coming out with a dust it's basically a finishing dust that we've been running it, and of course all of my seasonings and everything are named after great bulls. And this one, it'll be coming out. I pick up the final sample tomorrow. And if it's a go, then it should hit the shelves probably, at the end of this month. And it's called Crunch Time. And that's exactly what it's used for. It's when you're in that crunch that you need something that just kind of push you over the top a little bit. You just give it a little dust and it'll take you there. Just like all of my other rubs,
Yeah.
There's so many people that come in my trailer and they're like, do you use your own rubs? I use my own rubs.
I do. Your own rubs. I guarantee you that. So.
And I feel like that, I use my own rubs, and, I do use some other stuff. I use Juicy. I mean, your little, our sponsor list that you have up there.
Yeah.
I guarantee that I can click on every single one of those. I use Prairie Fresh ribs. I use Daigle sauce.
Yeah.
I use
Texas Select
Seasoning, Juicy Pig.
Yeah.
So there's, like I said, there's a whole line of them. There it is. Prairie Fresh Ribs, Lone Star. You get your stuff from there. Crawford's beef spritz is what I use. I use those knives a little bit. Barbecue store, that's where we're cooking at. I don't use Queued Up.
Yeah.
I used to a little bit. And then Daigle's Barbecue, So like I said, there's I use all those great products, and and I use mine. It's just what I do. And they win.
Yeah.
They actually win.
They do good. I say, if I recall, year before last, 19 grand champions in 1 year and won the World Food Championship. So, and that was just literally right after your class had came out. A year after, it was the next year after your class had came out. So that we went back and looked at it, and of course I cooked every single weekend. Yeah. And I was either grand or reserve for about 5 months straight. Yeah.
every weekend. I was either Grand or Reserve.
Yeah. Lucas says, I need 20-pound bag of that Perfect Storm and a little of that finishing dust. I'm telling you right now, that Perfect Storm is the bomb. I absolutely love it. So,
It's
yes.
We some good friends of ours, Alan and them guys up there. They've had just a great seasoning for a long time that we really truly loved, and we use it so much that it was getting really expensive for us to buy it. And I had to go and just start, trying to figure out a way to make my own rub, so that we could kind of use it, because we use all of my rubs. All of my rubs that we use they started at my restaurant,
Right.
And so when you come into my restaurant, you're not getting Salt and Pepper. You're getting Promised Land and Perfect Storm.
Right.
You're getting chicken. You're getting Perfect
Chicken
Storm and chicken on the chain.
chain.
So it's really, my restaurant that's why it kind of separates it, me from everybody else. And that you're actually getting seasoning that I use week in and week out. So it's got to be good. Otherwise, I'll be broke.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what's the name of the new rub?
Crunch Time.
Crunch Time. So, all right. So I've got to ask, is it named after a bull, or you just couldn't do it this time?
Nope, it is named after a bull.
Named after a bull.
Yep, he's right. Number one. He's ranked number one right now in the PBR standings. Crunch Time.
Crunch Time. I'll be dadgum. So wow, how cool is that?
Josh, me and Josh and his wife were sitting on the back of the truck, and we were at a competition. And he came up to me and he's like, "What are we going to call it?" And I said, "Let's look it up." And I'll be damned, she pulled it up, and whenever Stacy pulled it up, she looked down at it and she said Crunch Time, and I said, "That's it."
That's it. That is awesome. Wow. We'll be looking for that soon. I'm sure the barbecue store will be selling it. I'm sure Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop will be selling it. And I know Robert will have it as well. So if you're at a competition and you need it, you can always hit him up and he'll be glad to bring it out to you. So, well, Robert, man, you have been absolutely on fire. Let's see. He had a 46.95 the other night. So 46, you know what he's talking about? He had a 40. Marcio, what you talking about? He had a 46.95 the other night. I don't exactly know. Great name. Bill Purvis, great name. Yep, that's it. Perfect Storm is my go-to for evening dinner. She cooks.
Jennifer, you better watch. She gonna get you.
I know. I'm just kidding, Jennifer. I'm just kidding. Don't you even come through that screen. Bull score.
Yeah,
Bull score. Bull score.
See, Crunch Time.
Crunch Time. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, so bulls are scored, whenever they buck. You have 50 points for the rider and 50 points for the bull. See,
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, I know. I love you. I love you, Cole.
Yeah.
So, oh goodness gracious alive! Well, I tell you,
so what I'm also gonna do is so me and Guido we're just gonna go on our run up north, and so I'll be leaving here. I think at the end of May. We won't be cooking no more in Texas, probably about 2 months. So what we're going to do is we're going to let everybody know. We'll put out a calendar because we're going to start hitting KCBS when we start heading north.
Okay.
So we'll put out a calendar and let everybody know where we are. And man, if you enjoy Texas barbecue, come over there and give us a holler and talk to us. And we'd love to share the knowledge of barbecue. It's fun.
Right. Well, I tell you what, it is a lot of fun. It's fun going to these competitions, and I've missed being able to get out into Texas. I mean, we're finally starting to get quite a few of them in East Texas, and we're looking at ones to try to get further down south and travel a little bit and cook down in that area. It's always great cooking with you and everybody else. It was great seeing Rendell, and I do get a chance to cook with Scotty and Anna a lot because they're only about 40 miles from here. So it is a lot of fun, no doubt. Take the trip to Hempstead. Yeah, I just told Sis I should just leave the trailer down at Roberts and just go on down to Hempstead. And that was kind of my game plan, but I just got so much going on right now, I just couldn't do it. So, anyway. Well, Robert, congratulations, man. You've been doing very good. Congrats on the new rub. I tell you right now, he gave me a sample. He just said, "Hey, here's your bottle. Try this." And now I'm thinking, here's my bottle, like, all right. And I was like, man, this is some good stuff, man. What is this? This is it. This is Game Changer? Is that it? What is it?
Yeah, crunch time.
Crunch time. I was like, is this mine? Oh, no. That's not yours. That's still my prototype, but I'll have you some. So be looking out for that. And Jarrod, we're gonna throw it back for you, man. Have you got anything else that you want to talk about that we missed out on, or if
I think I covered everything. My
okay.
whole 10 competition career.
Okay. Any sponsors that you want to thank, or anything like that, or anybody you want to give a shout out to? That would be a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I've say thanks to Alberta Pork. There's for me for a while. The Far North Barbecue, they're a brand new barbecue sauce place up in northern Canada.
Okay.
And the first competition I used the sauce, that's when we got the 700. So it's my good luck sauce.
Yeah.
And there's Jake's legendary steak spice that I use. So no, there's shout out to those 3 companies, and that's all I got.
Okay.
And
Outstanding.
the other half of the team.
Yeah. Well, Jarrod, man, we really do appreciate you taking the time to join us. You're our first international team. Keep doing good, brother. I'm sure I'll reach out to you again sometime before, maybe by the end of the year or something, and have you on again to get an update of how things are going. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. So,
No, thank you. I'm just honored to be on your show. I've never thought in a million years I'd be on the show with you. I always
well, here you are. There you are. Hey, we like to put everybody. We want to give everybody the big guys and the small guys the limelight. Yeah. So, and I just think that's important because y'all are the future of our barbecue, and the new guys that are coming up, we want to recognize y'all as well. So, man, congratulations! You've had an unbelievable first year of cooking. That's a bucket list that a lot of people have been cooking. I've been cooking 10 years. I ain't been to the Jack. So, congratulations, and keep that smoke clean and smoke on. You know my saying: have a lot of fun and smoke on, and you've been doing it. So, anyway, Robert, brother. Who you got to thank for your sponsors, man? I know. Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we all do. Joey, love you, Robert. Absolutely love Joey and what he's done with the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. And Robert, man, you have done so much to help Joey. I know Robert don't like to talk about it, but I like to talk about it because I think what Robert did was just such an honorable deal to help Joey out. But I don't know if you know it, but every one of the classes that Robert sells, none of the proceeds that his cut of the class, which is well over half of it, he does not take any money. He has never taken a single check since the day we launched his class almost 3 years ago. Every bit of the money goes to Joey, and it goes to the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. And so if you're not, when you're buying Robert's class, the money is over half the money is going to Joey and the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. And and he said, I won't have it any other way. That's the way it's going to be, or I'm not even going to do it. And I was like, that's fine. So the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation has done so much to help these guys. Josh, hell, look at him, man. I was telling Suzette, I said, you probably don't know the story, but we walked by his trailer, and I said, man, this is a badass cook right here. And I said, the cool thing is, I said, he was Joey's first cook that he ever had come through the program, and he built his own smoker. He did something. I don't know if he built his own trailer or did the majority of it. And this guy's out there crushing it and having a good time. And it was great seeing you and him and Scotty and everybody sitting around Saturday night after the cook-off. So, but I know I know that you are definitely, that's one of your big sponsors. Real quick, Guido asked if there's going to be a KCBS in Canada when they are in Michigan. He is serious. Uh-oh, Robert.
I will be in Michigan.
Yeah.
So we may have to be doing some looking. We just got our passports because we were going to go to Australia this year. We're definitely going to have to bring our passports with us.
When will you be in Michigan? Do you know, Jennifer? Find out. Jennifer, when are you?
The schedule.
Look in there, Jennifer, and tell us, and Jarrod can let us know when the competition is going to you. All right, who else have you got, Robert? You want to thank?
Barbecue store. I mean, them guys. I mean, I go over there and see Elena. Probably twice, 3 times a week. Them guys are just they're spot on for us down here without having to pay stupid prices for shipping and everything like that. I signed this year with Tim over there at Gateway Drums. I mean, Gateway Drums They're such a big part in my cook. And
Mhm.
Pit Boss, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't ran the new vertical Pit Boss, those things are just they're a game changer. That's the only pit on the market right now that will hold a whole aluminum pan, and it will not only
Wow.
hold 5 of them, but it'll hold 7 of them if you want it to.
Was that the one you had in Trinity last year?
Yes, no, no,
Had the
no.
cat?
That's a different one. That's a different one. That's the
Okay.
one I had this year. This year is the one I had, the first one I've ever had.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and we've been running them now for about a year.
Okay.
Um, and man, they're just actually I did have that one in Trinity last year.
It was a
Yes, because
big,
that was
tall one. Had a
yes,
dial.
you
Okay.
got it. All right, that's the ones.
Yes.
That's the ones that we're running right now.
Okay.
And man, I'm telling you right now, those things are just there. It's when I first started running these things. I think I went to Academy. Everybody knows who Academy is. I went to
Mm-hmm.
Academy 3 times, and the only reason I went to Academy 3 times it was to buy different chairs because the chairs were just getting uncomfortable. Uh,
From sitting down and not having to get up so
Sitting
much.
down and not having to
Yeah.
do much. You know,
Wow.
it's and I really do believe that it's totally changed my way of operating barbecue and everything like this. It is so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do a class here, pretty shortly, and of course, I'm gonna have you guys involved,
Oh yeah.
and we're going to do it so that everybody actually understands, what we're the process that we're doing now and how easy it is to get in. Barbecue right now is so freaking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you go buy, a 12 or a $14,000 rig, man, you can't cook for probably 5 or 6 months. You
Right.
know, the operation that I'm running now, you can go to Academy and buy this pit for $550 and buy you a drum for $1,100,
And
and
you're ready.
you're ready. You're
Yeah.
you're ready to go cook. You don't need all this big. You don't need the big trailers. You don't need all this stuff. You can go put it in the back of your truck, grab a pop up and some hand sanitizer, and go cook.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I want everybody to understand now is meat is so damn expensive. Everything that we do, diesel, every damn thing is so damn expensive now. I've tried to find ways of cutting those costs on not having to have those big rigs, not having to have those big trailers. Of course, we still have them, but we don't need them.
Right.
If we
Right.
wanted to, we could load up right now. We could go cook a competition with the back of the truck
Yeah.
and win.
Yeah. Yeah. Those pellet cookers have come a long ways in the last
Yep.
3 or 4 years. No doubt.
Yep.
No doubt.
So, but like I said,
And,
yeah, I want to thank them guys. Thank them for everything they do for me, and
okay.
you know, everybody over there at We Brand It and everybody. And man,
Shell,
it's it.
Rotella.
It's good.
Let's talk
Rotella,
about Shell, Rotella. What's the other one?
Yep,
So
Case IH. Like I said, we've got a lot of really, really good sponsors that keep us going down the road, and that's one of the really reasons that my trailer is always open to anybody. We
yeah.
do have the freedom of doing and competing every single weekend and getting after it and everything. There's no reason why I shouldn't open my trailer and every single contest to anybody that wants to come in and learn.
Yeah.
Just come say hi and put it in the damn box.
Yep. Let's see. Do you cook on a gateway drum in your class? I'm just learning how to cook on gateways. Yes, he does He does cook on gateways, 100%.
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Don't even go there.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hour brisket man. 2 hours had a brisket ready, Jarrod. 2 hours. I'm like, I beat him up. His arm was purple by the time I got done with him. Pellet Lifer's great. One Houston Livestock Show rodeo on the bullpen, no trailer. Yep, there you go. Rec Tech for me. Controller is second to none. Yeah, that's a good bit too. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it so much. Robert, thanks, man, for
Thank
taking
you.
a little time out to be with us. And Jarrod, once
Appreciate
again,
it.
man,
Thank you, Jarrod.
for being here tonight. We appreciate it. I hope we got everybody's questions answered. And we have a lot of fun with these shows. We appreciate everybody taking a little time out of their busy schedule to hang out with a couple barbecue guys to talk a little bit about barbecue. It's something we enjoy. Everybody go out and enjoy the rest of your week.